look who we have. We have Miss LeMay. Hi, Miss LeMay.
Hi, Mr. Fisher.
How are you doing with all of this craziness? You look like you're set up for everything in that cool space you're in.
You know, I'm so about my space and the environment that I work in and breathe in and live in, and it's part of why I love all the guitars in my guitar classroom. So I'll give you. Gosh, I wasn't really thinking I would give a tour, but I'll give a brief tour.
Go nuts. Do whatever.
Of my room. Bedroom home, and my mother-in-law moved out, so this is my office.
Cool.
So let's see, I was sitting here and my window faces the porch.
Oh.
And then I have a bookcase I made because I love woodworking.
Yes.
So this is a bookcase I made for my daughter years ago and just kind of repurposed. And then let's see, what have we got? Oh, we've got my closet, and that's kind of my junk that I just, in like the tornado time that we were given to get out of our classrooms, I just packed as much as I possibly could and filled a flatbed. And so I'm slowly like weaving it into my home. And I love nature, so I made curtain rods out of sticks that I found on my walks.
That is so cool.
And, yeah, and then we really love tie-dye and tapestry and stuff, so those are my curtains. And a lot of people don't know it about me, but I like this history in the theater and used to be on stage and work backstage and build sets and stuff. And I found this at IKEA, so this was my Christmas present to myself, actually. And then on my wall are kind of some cool things that just have happened recently. Let's see, the 3 Strings poster, that was one of the auction, turning my computer the wrong way. That was one of the auction sale items, and then the people that created the poster created one for me too.
Aww.
And then just some funky stuff, and a piano, and a bookcase, an electric bass guitar.
That totally looks like John. Who is it in the Beatles that plays that bass? Is it John or?
Oh yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, it's a Beatles bass, right?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney. Yeah. So,
Cool.
Yeah, so anyway.
Well, thank you for the tour. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
So we're doing this little show. This is season 1.
Well,
and
so cool, Mr. Fisher.
Well, thank you. And we're trying to just get to know. This season is about the teachers. Who knows what future seasons will be about.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
But I'm just going to ask you a bunch of random questions and see where we go with it.
Okay, let's go. I love random questions.
Where were you born?
Well, I was born in southeastern South Dakota in a town called Yankton, named after an Indian chief, a Lakota Indian chief.
Yankton.
The town was, not me.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
I have 3 older brothers.
Okay.
I'm the only girl in my generation in my family on either side.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's just a ton of boys.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And what did your parents do for a living as you were growing up? Did your mom work outside of the house and
Yeah, well, my mom would say she was a housewife.
Yeah.
But reality-wise, she was the finance secretary for my father, and my father was an entrepreneur in our small town, and he would look around our community and see what business wasn't there that we needed, and he would start it, and then he would get it up and running, and my mom took care of all the bookwork and all the details of management. And my father was he could just sell anything to anyone.
Huh.
So he started a whole variety of different businesses in our town, and once they got up and really well established, then he would sell them and start another business.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Very entrepreneurial and yet
Extremely.
community building too.
Yeah, it was all about community. I mean, my father died years and years ago, 26 years ago.
Wow.
And I still, when I go back home, and go to the grocery store, or just I'm walking down the street in our town, people will stop and tell me stories about my dad.
That's
even
so cool.
now, all these years later.
It's kind of that thing that we all hope. We all hope that we have an impact on our community or whatever we do, and that we have a lasting effect on people.
He's had a pretty lasting effect in our little town for sure. Yeah.
Okay, what else can I ask you? Ooh, when you were 16, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I don't know if this is cool or if this is boring. I've always wanted to be a music teacher.
It's totally cool. What are you talking about?
Since I was 11 years old. I was in 6th grade, and I had just moved from a country school to a town school. Because for my first few years of school, I went to a little tiny country school. And they didn't have band there. So in 6th grade, you could still start band. So I started to play the trumpet. And I will never forget going to Mollet Music to get my trumpet. And I could have it for 3 months. My parents said I could have it for 3 months. And if I learned how to play pretty well and I had practiced enough, I could keep it a month at a time. So I remember being in the back seat, and my mom said I couldn't open it until I got home. And I had it I was sitting behind the driver's seat, and I had the trumpet on the seat beside me. And I remember I was a pretty good rule follower when I was that young. So I opened up the latches, and I remember just like peeking at it and being so excited. And boy, I hadn't played my horn very long, and I thought that the job my band director had was the coolest thing in the world.
That is so awesome. I played trumpet too, but I didn't choose to play. Yeah, I didn't want to play trumpet. I wanted to play saxophone because David Sanborn was super big. Remember David Sanborn?
Oh, yeah,
saxophone player in the 80s.
Yeah.
And my brother had played trumpet. He's 4 or 5 years older than me. And then they moved him to baritone. And so we had this trumpet sitting around the house. We didn't have a ton of money. So I said, well, we had a meeting today with the band directors. This is in elementary. And they said we could pick an instrument and play it. And then we had the form to rent the instrument. She's like, nope, you're playing the trumpet. I'm like, oh, but I want to play the saxophone. Nope, you're playing the trumpet. I was so bummed. So I played for about a year. But there was something, you're right, about opening the case and just seeing the shiny... and it was in like a blue crushed velvet case thing.
Yep.
It was so special.
Yeah, mine was dark blue.
Yeah, like unwrapping the instrument was so cool.
So exciting.
Okay. Yep. Do you have a favorite book or author?
You know, I'm kind of a weird reader.
Yeah.
I like to read textbooks. But I'm not much of a novel, like fantasy fiction reader.
Yeah, me either.
So the only kind of fiction I ever really got into was when we were reading books to the kids when they were little. And I really loved fantasy, like old fantasy. So the author that really sticks in my head probably is children's literature, and Emily Rada. She wrote a book of a series called Del Toro Quest, and it lived in our family for years and years and years. And it's just the adventure is set in kind of Renaissance time, so people were riding horses around and fighting off demons and
that's so cool.
Yeah, so it brought this whole other fantasy world into our family when the kids were growing up. That was a ton of fun. Yeah.
Sorry, really loud truck. Jeez, okay.
That's okay. They're replacing the concrete out. Like we have asphalt on our sidewalk because they replaced all the gas lines, I guess.
Oh yeah, my friend lives right by you, and he has all kinds of weird asphalt in front of his house too.
Yeah. So we're getting new sidewalks, I think.
What is your favorite game or sport to watch or play?
Gosh, that's kind of changed through the years. I always wanted there to be a volleyball team when I was in high school. I would have been an athlete if there had been volleyball.
So you didn't have a volleyball team in your high school?
I had girls basketball. That was it.
Really?
But I got too tired running up and down the court. And we had a really good basketball team. Like we had we were state champions. Yeah. Like I think all the way through my high school for girls basketball.
Oh wow.
So they were super serious, and I was never very interested in basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm short or it just seemed like a whole ton of running back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
No, thank you.
Very little reward.
Yeah.
So volleyball was my game. I loved it.
Nice.
And I like to watch it.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to the U of M women's volleyball? Isn't it
Yes.
fun?
So awesome.
I don't even like sports. I like
Yeah, I'm not a
Minnesota
big sports fan.
Minnesota
Although,
United. I like watching soccer. I really do. But
yeah,
like I don't enjoy many sports. But I there's something about the energy of women's volleyball at the U of M. It is a
yeah,
blast to go watch.
yeah. Women's volleyball is without a doubt my favorite.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as weird as it is, again, there's just some cool things about getting older.
Yeah.
That I'm just having a blast with. And I never liked football until the last 2 years.
Huh.
And I love watching football games.
What do you think it was that? What was the transition that you
I
started
have
liking
no, you know, it was the year that Diggs made that awesome catch that put us.
No, you lost me.
Sorry, lost you. So like it was the game before the game that got him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So like they were 1 out of 4 or something.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he made the most incredible play.
Okay.
And it was mind-boggling, and it was just like hooked.
Nice.
I was so into it.
You know, Josh and I were driving down to Luther once to watch a concert. Some students that I had as high school kids were graduating from Luther. And we were driving down to go to see their Christmas festival thing. And from the time we left our house, it's like, what, a 2-hour drive? From the time we left our house until the time we got about 10 minutes from Luther, we talked nonstop about choral music and musical theater. Nonstop. And then after about 2 hours, I go, I just had a huge aha. Like when people sit around and talk sports and they get really into it and really excited, that's exactly what we just did, but for the things that we're super passionate about. And I know that seems really like simple and basic, but I was just like, oh, I get it. We all have those things that we're super into and that excite us for whatever reason.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I remember like trying to identify, not just choral pieces. I mean, clearly I crazy love choir and spent a lot of years in choral music and identifying the choirs, not just the piece, but what choir is this singing?
Well, let's just divert from the questions for a moment and talk about the fact that where you and I met.
Oh yeah, we were professional singers.
Right.
Dale Worland. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, audience, students, listen carefully. So I got into a choir after college called the Dale Worland Singers, and that's where I met Miss LeMay. And Miss LeMay was one of were you a first or second soprano?
I was a first for one season, but second was really where my voice.
Yeah.
It just worked better there.
Yeah, but you guys listen. She was one of like 8 or 6.
7, yeah, I think.
7 second sopranos, and in one of the best choirs in the United States. It no longer exists. They closed up shop. And then the Singers Minnesota Choral Artists kind of took over a lot of those singers. And Dr. Armstrong sings in the Singers now. But anyway, students, Miss LeMay, a pretty awesome singer. Holy cow.
Thanks. Yeah.
So we met there, and then we didn't cross paths for like...
decades.
Yeah.
So when I did, I think 5 or 6 seasons with Dale Worland, and then I had a baby. And life, like with all babies, changed everything.
Yeah.
And I was already a full-time teacher. So I had all the students I could kind of handle, and then I just wanted to come home and be with my baby.
Yeah.
So I kind of checked out of the performing world at that point. My big, huge goal, really, as a performer, was to be a Dale Worland singer. Like, ideally, we set those things that we want to attain.
Yeah.
And musically, that was kind of my highlight, to be there season after season.
Yeah.
And even after my baby was born, I was very honored. Dale asked me to fill in a couple times, so I just subbed in. For a couple different works, covered a couple performances, and but it just didn't really work. It didn't really work with the baby that I had, and he was more important to me. So that was when priorities really shifted for me, and family went on top.
Yeah. So cool. I
And
just
the
love that
next
and
chapter
then
started.
I came to be interviewed at Southwest, and I had seen you a couple times. Like I saw you at a
Yeah.
ACDA. You came and presented something at an ACDA conference
Right.
one
Right.
fall, and
Mm-hmm.
we chatted real briefly. But then
Real
and
briefly,
then I
yeah.
came into the interview, and there you were, sitting at the table,
It
and
was so fun.
it is fun. I love the connections like that.
Yeah.
Okay, random question. Let's see.
You killed that interview, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like interviewing. It doesn't. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but I just like talking. That's why I like doing this. It's just talking.
Right. Yeah, it's really fun to just talk.
Aside from life's necessities,
Yes.
what is one thing you could not go a day without?
I mean, like a good cup of coffee?
There it is.
Or is that life's necessities?
Yeah, it's almost a necessity for me.
It's a borderline deal.
So, students, when you're bringing Miss LeMay coffee, 2 creams, 2 sugars, light roast or medium roast?
That's right. Yeah, medium roast, please.
Yes.
Yeah, gosh. I don't know. My dog.
Coffee's, that's a good answer.
Yeah, coffee, my dog. Yeah.
It's totally true. What is one of your pet peeves?
Hearing people chew.
Oh, yeah.
Hate that. Hate that. I could turn music on, so just drown it out.
Yeah. Do you know what
something...
is similar, in the similar vein, is when people go, you know that mouth opening sound?
Yes, I do.
In our house, we call it banana noise. Like people, when you eat a banana. Right, so just pay attention. When someone's eating a banana, and their mouth isn't completely closed, it has the most disgusting sound you will ever hear.
Yes, yuck.
Check it out, it's gross.
All right, banana noise.
Okay. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Ooh, busted. I love shoes. Oh, I don't know. I had to make a special installation in my room, in my bed.
Really?
50?
Wow.
I love shoes.
Yeah.
My feet are kind of funky because I have to be on them all day long, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, as we grow older and stand on our feet all day, they're sensitive little tootsies.
True.
So I like certain brands.
Yeah.
But of those brands, I have a lot.
Nice. That's a good number.
Don't you remember my glitter clogs?
I love your glitter clogs.
See?
I want your glitter clogs.
Yeah, they're fun.
I want a pair. What's your favorite type of food? Do you have a go-to?
Thai, without a doubt. Thai.
A lot of us teachers like the Thai food.
Yeah,
That's very
Thai food.
Interesting.
Or a specific restaurant, Kwang's on Eat Street. That's Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But even through COVID, they're busy.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part to keep... I don't want them to go under. They just put this huge new addition on and remodel.
I haven't been there in years.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
Go.
We're trying to do that too, supporting local businesses. It's the way to go.
Absolutely.
I love this question. Who would you want to have play you in a movie of your life?
Oh. I suppose she'd have to look like me, huh?
Well, whatever.
I don't know. Play me. Oh, you know, I don't know. I don't know what her real name is, but she plays Dr. Torres on Grey's Anatomy.
Sara Ramirez.
Yeah.
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 That's perfect. And do you know that she's a crazy singer?
No, is she?
She was the original Lady of the Lake in Spamalot on Broadway.
Oh, I didn't.
She's a legit studied opera singer.
Somehow I'm not surprised. Just by your speaking voice, there's a lot of resonance there.
She is a really special human being.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah.
I really like her energy in that show. And actually, we decided we needed a new series to watch during COVID. And we kind of went through a couple of things. And we tried the Tiger King. Not.
You didn't get through it all?
We watched it, but just because we felt like we had to.
It's trashy.
It's totally trashy.
But I think it's kind of chronic. It's like one of those things about the onset of COVID-19 in Minnesota. Like, everyone started watching that at the same time. And, you know.
So anyway, we got through that in a few days,
and then what was your other series?
And we started Grey's Anatomy from season 1, episode 1.
Had you seen any of it?
You know, I had just, my life was too busy,
and
it always kind of drew me in, but I had kids and a job and life and a house and blah, blah, blah and all this stuff, and I didn't have I never sat down.
Yeah.
I never sat down and watched TV. Not since Dayton was born.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch a movie, but to watch TV,
yeah,
never, just never.
I think I got through maybe seasons, I don't know, 8 or 9 of Grey's. Okay. I loved that show back in the day. And then I got busy with other stuff, I think grad school or something, and just quit watching it.
I think we're on season 7, episode 17 or something.
Okay.
That, and I want to know, in TV life, when did episodes become a season at the end of 13, episode 13, and that's a season.
Right.
Right? Because Grey's Anatomy has 27 episodes.
And they're full length. They're not 23 minutes.
No, they're not. No. So,
yeah.
So I'm loving that kind of stuff.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Too intense. Wouldn't everybody agree that knows me? Anyway, you just have to spend 5 minutes with me. Too intense.
Oh,
Careful.
That's perfect. What celebrity, alive or not, or historical figure, would you like to meet at Starbucks for a cup of coffee?
Barbara Streisand or Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Or Tom Hanks.
There's something about Tom Hanks. Something very spiritual and kind of connected that all three of those people actually.
Yeah, they just feel like, and Ellen, I think could be cool.
Yes.
You know, all of them have the feeling that they're just genuine human beings.
Yeah.
And the skill set that they developed and was innate to them has given them a lifetime of stardom and success. But there's an element in each of those characters that's just authentic and real. I
totally agree.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we could talk for hours.
We have talked for hours.
It's true, isn't it? Just not on camera.
We have a friendship that
Okay, so we're going to wrap things up.
Okay.
With a set of questions. Now, these questions are loosely based on French author Marcel Proust's character questions.
Is that somebody I should know? Sorry.
No, I didn't until I looked him up.
Okay.
When possible, try to answer with one word or with a brief answer. Please answer honestly and don't overthink it. Okay? Clear
and
your
you
mind.
have the editing capabilities, right?
Okay, here we go. Ready? What is your favorite word?
The.
What is your least favorite word?
Can't say that word.
What's another of your least favorite words?
I have no... mushy.
What do you consider to be your greatest achievement?
Music.
How would you describe your current state of mind?
Roller coaster.
Yeah. What occupation other than yours would you like to try?
Carpenter.
What occupation other than yours would you not like to try?
Roofer. Brain surgeon.
When and where are you the happiest?
Black Hills of South Dakota on a mountain.
What is something you dislike?
Lying and cheating.
What are you afraid of?
Judgmental politics.
What talent that you do not have would you most like to have?
Visual artist.
Oh, what is the quality you most value in a friend?
Honesty.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sopranos.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Chewing. There it is again.
Oh, and last but not least, if you were to die and come back as a person or thing, what do you think it would be?
I want to be the water.
Ladies and gentlemen, what wonderful responses we've received from Ruth LeMay. Ruth, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for doing this. You so rock.
This was so much fun. Take care. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.